This is our next guest we've got coming up now, and this is, his name is Huel Cummings, and I believe he's from Maxton, North Carolina. Is that right?
Yes, he's from Maxton.
All right.
Now, he came to me February the 1st. He weighed over 600 pounds. He has lost 150.
He is on the picture on the screen, and we saw him just a moment ago. Isn't that amazing? How much has he lost now?
140.
140. And how long has he taken to do this? Since when?
Speak.
You can talk now.
Since February.
Since February. Now, Huel, over there in Maxton, what'd you do? Eat a lot of seafood to get all that girth on you, or how did that all happen?
Well, I was a food addict from about 10 or 11 years old. And I just kept gaining the weight.
Now, you saw her on Real People, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so, well, how did you get in contact with her?
I called her home, and she was out on a seminar then, and they gave me the number, and I got up with her.
Has this really worked for you now?
Yes, sir, there's the proof.
Gaze into my eyes.
Those hypnotic eyes belong to Dr. Ilnur Bey Iskander. They've reportedly helped people quit smoking, drinking, or even eating. For instance, Huel Cumming used to be really fat. He doesn't mind admitting it. At 475 pounds, this Maxwell native is still a little overweight. But at least he can walk now. When he weighed 600 pounds, he could hardly get out of a chair. And then he met Dr. Iskander. According to him, that meeting changed his life.
You got to experience it. I can't explain it because it's just like religion. How can I tell you about God if you don't experience it yourself?
Experience what, you ask? Well, according to Dr. Iskander, it's an ancient form of hypnosis. She says the knowledge was passed on to her from a past life, 10,000 years past. That's why she calls herself the ancient traveler. She says 9 out of 10 people who seek her help achieve their goals. Huel Cummings has lost 125 pounds in 3 months.
So I took him to the delicate worlds began. His flaws and imperfections. He began to react as a second party, and it was done. Behold, you see a new man.
Granted, the new man still has a long way to go, but for the first time in 30 years, Huel Cummings has hope, and he attributes it all to the ancient traveler and her hypnotic eyes. Bill Draper, Action News 5.
People to you in terms of the problems they had and what they were looking as a source?
What brought them to me, their cry for help. And there is always a way if you open your mind. And I discovered that there is a most beautiful thing, that you can go into the delicate world where thoughts began. You know, because everything begins with a thought, is that right? So what if we could master the technique to go into the delicate world where the thoughts began? We could create our own reality. And I discovered that it was very easy to go into this world. And I began to work miracles when I was a kid. So I went back to the old country, lived for many years. I stayed in the Great Pyramid. I had the book that I wrote when I was a child published. I met the president. I had my chauffeur, my maids, a villa. My 2 sons were in the best school. Life was so unbelievable, like a dream. I could fill you in at another time. Coming back to this country, I began to work with people, teaching a course in parapsychology, having people to understand the reality of the first truth, and then I took them into the second. Then came the time that I began to use my hypnosis. I am the ancient Egyptian hypnotist. So I take people to this delicate world and have them to create their own reality. The word hypnosis has highly been abused and misunderstood in the Western world. And the type that I use has long been forgotten in my land and never known of here in the Western world. Huel Cummings, who is from North Carolina, saw the show Real People. And that night he was sitting and very depressed, and he saw the show. And as he saw my eyes on the television. He called me. He weighed over 600 pounds. He came to me, found me when I was in Virginia. My office is in Pittsburg, Pennsylvania. I put him under hypnosis.
What brought you to Dr. Iskander?
Crying out for help. It was just destiny that we was to meet.
And when was this point in time when you did meet?
The 1st of February.
Is that this year?
Yeah, this year. See, if you ask the Spirit for something, it will be given unto you. He didn't say when. You got to ask and believe that somebody always somewhere that'll help you, no matter what your problems is.
Is anyone else in your family, your mother, overweight?
No. I'm the only one.
Now, since February, you have lost how many pounds?
130 pounds.
What's your goal?
160.
That you want to weigh?
160 pounds. I dream now at 160 pounds. I see myself at 160. I have that in my mind that I'm 160 pounds.
You had tried to lose weight.
Yes, sir.
Nothing worked.
Nothing worked.
And then you heard about Doc. Then what?
Then I went to visit her that day, and I have found miracles. My legs were swollen. The varicose veins in my legs were swollen, and they just shrunk right up.
Once you had this hypnotic experience.
Hypnotic experience.
Is that the same for you, Maren?
Yes, I went to Dr. Iskander, and I met her, and I went to her, and I've had bad feet problems and bad knee problems, and I haven't had any since I've taken it off. My frame of mind is a lot better. My outlook on myself has improved.
Now, I want you to look at that chubby little rascal right there. That is Maren Metz. How long ago, Maren?
Well, it took me less than 3 months, but it was last February.
Okay.
And I've been with her since
You
then.
were 219 or 20
Yeah,
pounds then.
around there, I guess. My aerobics teacher could not believe losing all that weight so fast that I didn't get all drawn and saggy and everything. She couldn't, she had another woman who just went another method of dieting who really got saggy and was the same age. And,
yeah. Why?
Well, I'll tell you why. Now, this is something, we have about 20 pictures there, and most all of them, the flesh tightens up. It is the method of the hypnosis and the power of the mind, plus the diet, and the practice that they do every day. The diabetics, after 3 days, there is no sugar in the urine, and they are urged to stay close to the physician that he may regulate the insulin or take it away.
You had that?
I have so many of them.
Yeah.
And the arthritis, Judy Visconti had...
See the eyeballs light up?
Oh, she had arthritis. I have several that have arthritis.
Rheumatoid?
Rheumatoid. And, Judy Visconti, we have to take care of you also. Yes, I noticed that. We take care of you. And
ulcers.
High blood pressure. Now, Luella,
I've had an ulcer.
let her tell you about the ulcer and the veins in her leg.
And the veins, but my ulcer was really bad.
Yeah.
And I haven't had any problems.
Luella, your ulcer was from worrying about being fat, wasn't it?
No, not really.
Just your outlook on life?
Outlook, attitude. I work with the fellow I work with, and conditions.